Alright, hello, my name is Steve McNally. I'm in CSE3200. This is my homework 6 assignment. So we're going to start off by going to my app. We're going to make it run. So let's turn on my emulator. Alright, so here's the app, how it currently works. You get squares, rectangles, you can draw more than 4. Alright, so now we're going to do the first one of the assignment. Change your data class so now tracks the rectangle. Okay, so we're going to go to data class, and here it is. So it tracks the width by taking the end x, subtracting it by the start x. So this is the width as in from, I meant the x value as in from side to side. And then so it takes the height by subtracting the end y from the start y. So from here to here, subtracting the 2, it gets the height. Okay, so now we're going to go over to change your box view so that it only draws squares. Okay, so we're going to go to box view, and we're going to do so it only draws squares right here. Okay, and we're going to take this old one out. So this does is it takes the minimum of these two values, one being the x value, so it just gets the length, like we need to know the length, but I chose to decide to be the minimum. So what you do is you take the current x subtracted by the starting x, so that's here is the starting, here is the finish. Well, here's the starting, and then here's the current value of the x portion, and then you do the same thing for the y. So you want to get the starting y, which is here, and the current y, which would be here, and then that's your length. So then to get the sine of x, so you want to know the sine of x to know if it's going, so see how this is the positive direction. So this is the right side is when x is positive, the left side is when x is negative. So that's right here. Let's do a -1 like this. Oopsies, messed up. And then so positive y would be the opposite. So not the opposite, but it's in the up and down direction. So a positive y is like this down way, and then a negative y is like this up way. Okay, and those gives you the sign. So if the current x is greater than the starting x, then it's positive. If the current y is greater than the starting y, then it's negative, and then it's positive. So here is that one, and then here is the other one. Okay, so it's negative and positive. And then we want to set the end before we validate it. We get this point f by taking the start of x plus the length times the sine of x, and this gives us like an actual like length, like how square is always proportional. We do the same thing with the y to get the square to be always proportional. That's how we get them always to be proportional. Okay. Alright, now change it so that it makes a square. Okay, so now if the width is greater, then it's always going to be a square. If the width is less, it's always going to be a circle. So that's for number 3. Okay, so here we go. So we make a rectangle called rectangle F, and then we check if the rect of F, if we make this by getting the box's left, top, and right and bottom coordinates, and then we check if that rectangle F's width is greater than its height. If it is, then we get the size of the height. We get the rectangle's height, which is the size of the square, and then we get the difference of it, which is the width minus the size, divided by 2. And then the rectangles, this gives us the square. So we get the box's left plus the difference, which we got up here. And then for the middle portion, it's just the box's top. And then the box's right minus the diff. And then the box bottom. Okay? And then we use that. We take that value and we draw the square ref. Else, if it's not like, if it's the height is less than, then we draw just a box. I mean a circle. So we're gonna run this now. So now you can, oh, sorry, I forgot to take this one out. But you can sort of see it there already working. So we're going to take this on, do it here. Okay, so there's this circle, and then we're gonna try to get a square in there. The square happens really quick, which is hard to get sometimes. Oh, there's a square. Saw it there for a sec. Yep, right there is a square. Alright. Alright, so we got a square. Okay. So now for the next portion we're going to do it so you can only draw 3 objects. Yep, finally it's changed, yes, so you can no longer draw any new shapes after drawing 3 shapes. So after drawing 3 shapes, so that's this one. So we're going to take the box size, so basically the number of shapes you've drawn, and see if it's equal to or greater than 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See, you can't do that. You only can do 3. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to do the next one. So we're going to do the sunset. Okay, so for this one, to get this one to work, I had to get the Wi-Fi drawable asset. You went over here, you went to new, and then went to vector assets, and then you got the Wi-Fi one. That's what we used for the shark fin. Okay. And if we run the app, you're gonna see run in a sec. So then after we got that shark fin, we went over to activity main XML, and we changed this. This used to be not a frame layout. We changed to an open frame layout of the sea, and then put below an image view of the shark fin. This is so they could be on top of each other, like you'll see in a second. So see how the sun and the sky are on top of each other? Yeah, we want the same thing. We want the shark fin to be on top of the water. So when it runs, here we go, it's running. And then, yep, you see the shark fin. Okay, so the shark fin was the Wi-Fi signal, like as I was telling you before. We had to rotated to negative 310, so that it shows up like a shark fin. And then, yep. And then the source is set to the drawable, which we explained over here, which is this. Yep, and so that's how that's displayed. Okay, so now here we go. So to get that to run at the right time and where the positioning is and everything, we set the shark fin, we bind the shark fin using binding, and then we get the width of it. Now we negate that so that it's set to the left side of the screen, like off the screen, and we get to set that to a flow because we need it down here, and that needs to be a flow. So that's the starting position, is always off the screen because it's negated of the width of the shark fin. So now we're going to do the shark fin end. So the shark fin end should be off the screen here. That's gotten by this binding the sky and getting the width of that. So the width of the sky, meaning from here to here, is the end. So right here is the end, the maximum amount of the width, which is this. This is the end. And then so then we get both those values. Then we make an object emulator, call it shark fin emulator, and then offload basically just gets to do the motion. So we bind the offload to the shark fin. That's because that's what we're moving. As you can see, it was the shark fin that was moving. We're changing the property of x, meaning we're changing this way, not this way. So we're changing property x, and we're taking the shark fin start of x, and that's where it starts, and then it ends at the shark fin y. The duration is 1.5 seconds, and then the shark fin, the delay is 200 milliseconds. And then down here we have each thing run in the order, so the shark fin should run at the same time as the night emulator. Alright, thank you so much, and have a great day.